Tonight we're going to be making veggie burgers, a different variety. So I'm going to be sauteing some onions, some sweet onions, some garlic, and some baby portobello mushrooms that I've chopped up, and I'm going to saute those. I'm also cooking some quinoa, which is almost ready. And these veggie burgers are going to also have the black beans and beets. I got these beets at Trader Joe's. These are whole baby beets, and so I'm going to chop these up, and then I'll be putting these in the bowl with the beans and smushing them. So I just want to show you what's happening in here. This is the same way I did the sweet onions the other day, where I just cover it and I don't put any oil or anything in there, just salt, and in this case I put salt and pepper. But look, it's a very different situation here because the mushrooms make so much water. They're sort of just simmering away in their own water that they've made by being covered. They're starting to get a little bit drying out now, but this is getting really good. This will be really smushable and good to put into our veggie burger. So this is the package of beets that I got at Trader Joe's, and I'm going to wear gloves because beets are going to stain everything. This is a little different than the canned ones I showed you last time because, oh, my hands were wet when I was trying to put this glove on. The canned ones were sliced. These are whole baby beets, so they're just little whole beets. So they have a lot of red juice and they're going to stain everything. So I'm just going to chop these up. Oh, they're very easy to cut. They're very soft. Give these a rough dice, because I'm going to go in and smush them with the beans like I did last time with the tool. So this is just a different way to get your beets. So I saw these at Trader Joe's and I thought, oh, okay, well, I'll just pick these up and use these for the burgers. So I'm just going to cut them all up. Just like I said, rough. It doesn't, we're going to be smushing them, so it doesn't have to be pretty. Just roughly, a rough chop is fine. And they're going into my bowl. So I'm going to just keep chopping these because right now, since my hands are all full of beet juice, I can't really stop the video. So you get to watch me chop these beets, but I will stop the video and probably edit this down so that you don't have to watch me just sit here and chop beets. I'm going to now I'm going to get this out of the way. And now, I guess I'm not going to edit the video because now I'm going to just pour the beans in. And I'm going to smush it around with my favorite tool. But I showed you last time how to do it with a fork, except for there was already like other stuff in there, and so it was hard to show you. So now I can just show you without having anything in there that you can just use a fork. And like I said before, it takes more time and labor to do it this way, but certainly an easy and inexpensive way to do it, so you don't have to buy any specific tools or new tools or whatever. You can just use what you have in your kitchen. That's why when I'm making dinner, usually I think about what I want to make that week and I get stuff at the store. But when you're making a last minute dinner, you just use what you have. You just use what you have in the pantry, which is, what I did last time. I made the bean burgers, which was, I had a can of this, then I had a can of that. So that's what I used, even though I would normally want to use something different, but I had it on hand, so I'm going to just use what I have on hand and make the most of it. So you can see this is getting nice and smushed up to become our burger mix for our patties. Okay, now these are the baby bellas, the portobello mushrooms, and I sauteed them with onions and garlic, and I'm going to put those right in with our beets and black beans. And as per usual, I have not measured anything. It's 1 can of black beans, but other than that, just used half an onion and a whole package of the baby bellas, which I had to chop up. They were like the whole baby bellas, so I had to chop them up. Let's see what we got so far. This looks very wet. It's going to need a lot of binder. Okay. Also, I don't know what this is gonna, like, you know, I'm used to making it with like raw onions and green peppers, and it gives it a different flavor. So this is gonna be a very different flavor with cooked mushrooms and cooked onions. It's a different, you know, and plus I'm adding the quinoa. It's a whole different combination. But that's what I said before about the beauty of making veggie burgers, is that you can put whatever veggies you like in it. And some veggies you have to cook, like sweet potatoes, butternut squash, you know, things that you can't just throw in raw. You have to cook first. But there are a lot of veggies that, you know, you could just grate and throw in raw, or even put them in your magic bullet to get them kind of pureed. If you put your veggies in your magic bullet when you're pureeing them, they're going to be a lot wetter and harder to deal with. You'll need more binder as opposed to like a rough chop, which doesn't make it as wet. So here we go. We have the black beans, the beets, the mushrooms, the garlic, and the onions. And now I'm going to add the binder. And so I've added in 1 cup of quinoa. And since I've never made this particular recipe before, or like this combo, I'm just going to eyeball it and see what it needs. So far I've put in the 1 cup of quinoa. It's actually looking pretty good consistency-wise for making the patties. I'm going to add the ground flax. I'm going to throw in a 1/4 cup of ground flax, and let's see what happens. That's the beauty of these veggie burgers. You know, you just experiment. Put stuff in you like. Yeah, now this is getting really good. So I put 1 cup of quinoa and 1/4 cup of ground flax, and it's a really good binder. It's getting nice, and I think it'll be easy to work with to make the patties. You can see it's really like ground beef consistency, so it'll be easy to make patties with this. Okay, I think that's good. I think I'm gonna give it a go with the 1 cup of quinoa and the 1/4 cup of flax. I mean, I could add a little more flax. I'll sprinkle some more in. I'll do another 1/8 of a cup just to give it a little more firmness. And yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna get set up to put these on the electric griddle, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so it's time to get the burgers on the griddle. This time when I make the burgers, I'm going to be doing it on this electric griddle that I should. Okay, 4 ounces. We're going to make our ball, and we're going to put the ball on the griddle, push it down to make our patty, just like we did last time. So we'll get 4 ounces. That's a little bit much. 4 ounces. Make a ball. Oh, I should have put this one over more. I don't think I'm gonna move it over. Can't really move it over. Put your ball down and patty. Perfect patty. Like I said in the last video, it's a perfect patty. It's a perfect patty. When you're cooking at home, no matter what you're cooking, don't be afraid to experiment, number 1. And number 2, we're not perfect. We're not a restaurant. We don't have the equipment or the supplies. So do your best with what you have. And if you make mistakes, that's okay. It's a learning process. Everything you do in the kitchen is a learning process. And the more you do it, the better and quicker and easier everything's going to come for you. So my advice is just go for it and experiment. You know, the other thing you can do with these patties is that you can make 2-ounce patties, or like smaller sized, slider sized patties. And the potato rolls that I like to use, like the regular buns, they also come in slider size, the Martin's potato bread. So, oopsie. I have a little bit left here. It looks like what I have left in this bowl is going to be slider size. That's what made me just remember that. In the past, I have made these burgers, the regular ones that I usually make, just in slider sizes. They're really good. So this one's little, see? It's gonna be little, like a slider. Okay, so that's good. I'm gonna put the timer on for 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna flip them. Timer, 5 minutes, and then I will flip them. So the burgers are cooking away. They've been flipped over, and they're almost ready to come off. They look amazing. And you can see they're very beautifully patty-sized. And they're actually pretty nice and thick. This is a good mixture. This made really good patties. And just like with the other burgers, I cooked these low and slow, so it was like on a medium heat, 5 minutes on each side. So we'll see how they are. I guess we'll have these for dinner tonight. It's dinner time. Oh, I just messed this one up. But like I said the other day when I was making the other burgers, or the other week when I made that other video, you know, we're human. You can make mistakes, you can mess up the patties. It doesn't matter. It still tastes as good. And the little slider is the last one to come off. Yeah, they're not really, these are going to fall apart as soon as we bite into them, I can tell. They're nice patties, but they're the kind of patties that as soon as you start taking bites on your burger, they're going to fall apart. Okay, so here we have it. The beautiful patties. Enjoy!